You can take a piggy bank and teach your children about saving. Yeah, here's a blue piggy bank that I bought for me, and I bought a pink one for Renee several years ago, and I still use it today to save change in. As a boy, I had a can. Along the way, one man that was at the bank was telling me that as a child he saved in a egg crate. He had each a little section, a way to save money for upcoming projects and things he wanted to buy. He became the bank manager. That as a boy was telling me about that egg crate as a child. So here's my piggy bank. And I want to talk with you today a little bit about teaching your children how to save. And so, yeah, I had a can when I was a boy. But let's see. Yeah, there's some change in here. And let's see what kind of change we have. Let's see. We've got, I see some pennies. Yeah, they're not worth a lot these days. Here's a dime and a quarter, and maybe there's some nickels in here. Yeah, there's a nickel. Well, how can you use this change to help teach your children about money? You know, a little child has a hard time understanding what an IRA is, and a 403B, and a 401K, and Roth versus traditional. They're not ready for that. But you can take some change and start teaching your children about money. And show them money. Show them what a dollar bill looks like, and a $5 bill, and a $10 bill, and a $20 bill, and even change. And when you've saved up a lot of change, make it an event at your house to, come on, kids, let's count up the change. Let's see what change we have, and maybe we can all roll it up, and then make it an event to even take it down to the bank. Now, the next time we go to the bank, we're going to take that change and we're going to make a deposit with it. And then maybe get your kids a piggy bank and teach them to save along the way. But I want to talk with you about 3 specific ways that you can teach your children about saving. Maybe you've got 3 piggy banks or 3 jars for your kids. And when they work and earn some money from chores or from a job, I got my first job when I was 12, maybe they have 3 that they put their money in. Number 1 is their money for God. Yes, children ought to tithe. When they begin earning money, they ought to learn how to tithe their money and give to missions and give in special projects there at the church. Teach them to give. Mom and Dad, you need to be giving yourselves on your increase, but teach your children. And then the second little savings container that you have that for your kids for long-range savings. You know, kids, you want to save for your future. One of these days, you want to buy you a car. One of these days, you want to buy you a house. And so you need to start saving. Right now, you need to start saving for your future. You want to go to college. These things cost a lot of money. And so we want to save for that. And maybe it's smaller projects that you want to save for first before they start thinking about saving for a house. But have a savings container for the future. And then the third category of money for children, they ought to have a spending category. They ought to get to spend some of their money. Children like candy. Yes, and you don't want them to eat too much candy, but a little candy is not going to destroy your child. And so, Mom and Dad, use your good sense and teach your children about things they can spend their money on. I'm going to tell you, when I was 12, got that first job as a full-service gasoline station attendant. Yeah, I pumped gasoline. I cleaned windshields. I checked the oil on cars. I checked the air in the tires. And I made a little salary, made a little hourly wage for that. But along the way, sometimes people would give me a quarter. Sometimes it was a dime. You know, You're talking 40 something years ago. Well, that that went a lot farther back then. You could get a Coke for a dime. We had a little machine there. You could put your dime in, and a little Coke would come out. Yeah, and I like drinking those little Cokes. Sometimes a man would get gas and say, "Here, son, go buy you a Coca-Cola." And I enjoyed buying Coca-Cola, but I didn't always spend that dime on Coca-Cola. Sometimes I said, I think I'm going to save that, because there were some things I wanted to buy. For example, when I was a boy, I liked reading the Hardy Boy books. Yeah, Frank and Joe Hardy. And so a lot of times on a Saturday evening, after I got paid for my little job of pumping gasoline at that full service Gulf gasoline station, Gulf. Oh yeah, when I finished that, I'd get paid. Maybe I'd gotten a few tips that week. And I had my money saved to give to the Lord's work on Sunday. I had my money saved for my future. But I was able to spend some of my money. And for about $1, I could buy a hardback Hardy Boys book. And those were about 200 pages. And I'd go home and I'd start reading those. And I'd read about Chet Morton and Biff and all those characters in their Phil. I still remember that stuff today, a little bit. I haven't read a Hardy Boys book in a long time. But I remember from my teenage years, and it was part of earning money and saving money and getting to spend some money. Yeah, children can probably save half of what they earn for their future, and they ought to learn to do that. Don't squander and spend everything. If they'll be careful, and if they'll learn how to earn money, they need to begin learning how to earn money as children, so that as adults, well, they'll know how to make money and provide for their family. So consider all these things and appropriate them, mom and dad, as you see fit, but teach your children, teach your grandchildren, maybe with some change, maybe with the old egg crate. Maybe that's what you did as a child. Get an egg crate and start teaching those children. Get a piggy bank, but teach your children some money management skills early on, including how to save money. May God bless.